Button. Okay, okay. Alrighty. Do I look a mess? Probably. Probably. Do I look a mess? Almost absolutely. Do I feel a mess? Kind of. Um, do you ever have those mornings where you wake up with an idea and it's so insatiable that you have to do it now? You have to do it today. Because that is exactly how I feel today. That is exactly how I woke up this morning. And I want to work on something. So, despite it being Halloween, I'm going to be working on creating video game scenes that I want to create for my own video game. I can't quite make them the way that I want to because I do not have a digital tablet as of yet. That is something. Oh, God. Leia. Hey, that's not a toy. Sorry, Sally. That is something I am working on getting towards. I would really love to have a tablet because I want to create art that is both physical and digital, and the kind of digital art that I want to make for this video game that I want to eventually create would all be pixel art, and I can't really do that on paper. I suppose I could get grid paper, but I don't know that I could get small enough grids. So, as an alternative, I'm just going to be drawing some concept ideas that I have in my mind. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. It'll be a bit of a doodle sesh, a bit of like just hanging out with me on Halloween when no one's home and everyone's at work. So, yeah, hope you enjoy. I didn't even do an intro, so here's your intro. Hi, my name is Claymore. Happy Halloween. Although this probably won't be uploaded on Halloween. This is just Halloween day when I'm recording this because I am utterly so excited to do this. As you can tell, we have a new guest. That's Leia. She's my roommate's cat. And my cats do not like her very much. But, you know, it takes time. Anyways, let's move on to me actually doing some artwork before the cats like literally destroy the house. So, for this idea, this was entirely based around a dream that I had Halloween morning, which sounds a little disturbed, but I admit. However, I really liked these 3 particular scenes that I went through within that dream/nightmare because it is a horror game, horror story, but it's pixel art, so like it kind of feels cutesy and fun, but also creepy, scary, yeah. Anyways, so the first of my concepts was the opening field scene. The opening field scene is the start of the dream, right? It was this kind of gray, cloudy autumn morning, and there are these power lines that are really low hanging over the fields, and the trees, the leaves on the trees are changing color for autumn. And it looks peaceful, right? But it also looks forgotten. It looks like there were people that used to hang out here, that used to spend time here, but all the things that they used to do, all the things that they love from this space have disappeared or deteriorated. And so I tried to give these sorts of feelings where it's like kind of warm and inviting, but also lost subtly. So I added like some little bikes that are lost in the grass, and just this sort of overall like generally nice feeling. I hope you can tell based on what I did. I think it turned out really, really cool. It's a very basic scene, but I felt like it really set the tone for this entire project, and I think it will come into play later and help you feel like the drastic difference in anxiety between this first opening scene versus what eventually becomes the majority of the game and the scenes. I think that'll come through really well. As I am currently recording this much later after I had the dream and I no longer am in that like feverish manic state. I can't say exactly why this was the opening scene for the game, but I felt like people came here after all of the people in their town had gone missing, or like a good portion of people had gone missing. And then they had all gone missing because they went out into this field to play this game. This game that was kind of like, if you think about a mixture between like Pokemon Go and Oculus Rift. So there are physical locations that you have to go to play certain parts of the game, but the game is so immersive that they are played through these goggles, right? You'll kind of see a little bit of that later on. So that kind of leads me into the second prompt. The second prompt is the Scarecrow intro. So this is where we're really starting to get a sense of what is happening in the game, what this game is about, right? We've gone out to this field where all these people have said they've had amazing, crazy experiences that are so immersive and so frightening but interesting, right? And so we go out there ourselves after several people have gone missing in town, and we put on the glasses, and our first thing that we see is a gigantic scarecrow reaching down to grab us, right? This scene, well, entirely frightening in my own dream, was so cool to think about on a level of a game inside of a game. I kind of love this concept where you feel like there are two worlds that you are existing in within the game itself, and then there's you yourself as a person, as a player, thinking through everything. So in my dream experience of this, obviously I didn't just get this little scene. I put on the glasses and I saw this gigantic scarecrow. And like, when I say gigantic, I mean like 40-foot tall scarecrow. Gigantic, towering over me, right? and it immediately charged at me and was trying to grab me up, and I was running down the hill of this field away from this thing, and it was stomping so hard that it was creating cracks in the ground and like disturbing the earth so much that I had trouble running away from it. And in the dream, I was able to get far enough away from it that I was hiding somewhere, and I took off the glasses. But after I took off the glasses, while I couldn't see the scarecrow any longer, I could still hear him. I could still hear him stomping through the woods towards me, slowly, but still coming. And this is the third scarier element of the game, is that characters have to push themselves to stay within the oculus to survive, because creatures are not just in the game, they're in the reality section of the game as well, and they are still hunting you despite you not wearing the glasses related to the game anymore. Really creepy, obviously, really dark and scary, but I think that this will push the character and push the player to feel like, okay, I have to use this to be able to see my enemies, but I don't necessarily have to keep it on the entire time. I can travel through the world without them, but it's just much more difficult and dangerous because I can't see what's going on. So there's some upsides and downsides to wearing the glasses, and I think that could add some like puzzle challenges to the game. Maybe there's certain terrain things that you can't see in the Oculus version that are there in reality, and vice versa. So should be interesting to plan out and do stuff with. I don't even know if you guys caught much of that, but the kitten really wanted to play, and I'm gonna have to do a little fixing, but I'll get back to this one. Finally, the last of the prompts is the overlay inventory screen. I had so many ideas for this, and my sketch that I initially made was based on someone else's pixel art of their own like video game screen that they wanted to create, and they were kind of using inspiration from games like early Doom and that sort of thing, where characters can see their own or where players can see their own character's face and what condition they're in via the face. And I thought that was a really cool concept, so I put that in my initial sketch, but I did not keep it for the final version. Instead, I opted to show my character's full body, and if you couldn't already tell, all of the characters within the game, inside of the game, are gourds. So they are either pumpkins or squash or some other related vegetable gourd. And so I had a lot of fun making puns out of the different names for the characters. So I really like the idea of basing it on level. So like early level characters will be gourdlings, and then mid to intermediate characters will be Gordians, and then like the really high level characters will be folk gourds. And I don't know, it was just a lot of fun to like come up with different concepts for what you could do as like awards for your character. And I just had way too much fun figuring out exactly what I wanted to do with the characters and how I wanted to work around just the idea of your character being a squash person. So anyways, I also tried to figure out some concepts for like, what would your character have? Would they have like health? Would they have mana? Would they have stamina? Would what kind of inventory stuff would they have? Would they have crafting? Would they have a journal to keep track of their missions that they're on? Like, what sort of things would you need to access in this game? And I think I came up with a generally basic idea, but I think I will definitely have to think a little harder in the future if I want to make this into an actual legitimate game. I'll have to think a little bit more on that front. But I have some great ideas, and they make me very excited about the possibility of creating something like this. I would absolutely love to make this a real game, but I do not really have the know-how currently. I previously went to school to do game art, and so there's a part of me that feels like I should be able to figure it out, right? But like we didn't learn how to do like pixel art stuff. We just learned how to do like 3D modeling and textures and lighting, and that is not very related to the way that you do pixel art games. So I don't know. I want to figure it out. Hopefully in the future I will. But yeah. So lastly, as as a final sudden decision after creating these 3 pages of stuff related to the game, I realized that the overlay screen is never going to look right unless I put it over the top of one of the prior like scenes, right? Like there's no better way to show it off than to do that. So I decided, because I've followed a couple people that do really creative stuff with their own sketchbooks where they cut out pieces and they put pieces in to be more interactive, where you can move them or change them or unfold something. And I have always thought that concept is really cool. I tend to just do very basic art in my sketchbooks or in my like final draft books. So I don't have a lot of experience with doing stuff like that, but I decided that I wanted to make the overlay a real overlay. So I cut out the 2 sections of the overlay, and then I covered them in tape and used the tape to be able to extend them over the top of the other scenes that I had created without disturbing the art piece as a whole. And I think it's not my best work, but I think it turned out pretty cool, and I really love the whole concept. I would absolutely love to do this as a full-fledged project in the future, but for right now, this is what I got. You know, sometimes chasing your mania is worth it. But for now, I will see you guys later. I hope you had a great Halloween, and don't worry, I will have much more spooky stuff in the future to be showing you very soon. Bye-bye.